So I'm gonna guess that Nageki's not gonna show up here.
Probably not.
So I'm just gonna buy an amulet from good old Ryota.
And fulfillment in school.
Fulfillment in school?
That's what my thing says.
Okay.
I don't think this matters, but since like sometimes you just have bad weather and you don't get a picket, so.
Okay. I wish for fulfillment in school. Thanks, Ryota. And no lunch. Bye-bye. And teacher? Yeah, he always shows up.
Fuck off, Mr. Teacher.
Fuck off, Mr. Teacher. We don't like you. I got the Osechi blessing. Whatever. I got it. Oh yeah, this will be a good year for me. I think it's been a new blessing every time.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, you get to have sex with ghosts.
Hurrah! Skippy, skippy, skip. And it's Legumantines!
Yes! So, do you think you know what bean you're gonna have to buy?
So, it's obviously... I don't think it's gonna be bitter black beans again. I don't think it's gonna be a racing blend either. I think it's gonna be Comcorn.
No.
Country millet.
Yes.
Aha! Almost right.
Yeah. Runner up.
Runner up. That's just good enough. That's our motto. Good enough. Today is the day. The preparations are complete. Time to give the beans to that special somebody. Almost empty as always. And unsurprisingly, the heating doesn't work well here. So the winter cold will stick around well through February.
Great. What do you mean, well, winter sticks around well through February?
Welcome to Sweden.
Winter doesn't end until May.
Pretty much. We have 6 months of winter and 6 months of the other 3 seasons. The pervading chill has earned the library the dubious honor of being one of the school's least popular places in winter. The few students here are huddled around the heater, so Nageki should be... in the corner. There you are, Nageki. Sitting in a frigid corner, far from the meager effects of the heater, as expected.
Please be quiet in the library.
Quiet in the library. Oh, we're finishing each other's sentences. Oh, can you somehow forgive my dreadful sin? Brrr, it's cold here. Are you okay, Nageki? Do you want to maybe huddle up and share some fucking body heat for once?
I can confirm that having a Swedish boyfriend is very, very useful in the winter. He has them Nordic genes.
I am a walking fucking blast furnace.
Yes, he is.
I generate a lot of body heat.
It's true.
And gas.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of all the heat.
I guess. But you know what? As people are wont to say in German, no one's people frozen to death, but they haven't stank to death.
Is that is that what they say in Germany?
Yeah.
What? Is that an actual German saying?
Huh?
No. I actually thought you were just like doing a bad joke.
Stunk ist noch kein Affront schon, yeah. It's like something you say when the air is bad, but it's really cold outside, and someone's like, "Let's open the window," and you're like,
That's what I'm gonna tell you. It's like, it won't kill you, baby.
Essentially.
But you'll get that nice,
all those
nice heat.
Look.
That nice human heat.
2 world wars ago, people used to think of Germans as, or Germans like to self-stylize. Okay, let's be honest here, as the country of thinkers and poets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is the kind of sayings we got. So
wonderful.
You're welcome, world.
There you go. It's your line still.
For the poetry, I mean.
Ah, yes.
I obviously apologize for the wars. I just want to make that very clear.
You're fucking welcome.
No, I just want to make... God, let's skip.
You're welcome for the wars, Anna, 2019.
No. I'm fine.
I hope you fucking like them. Put a lot of effort into these wars.
Oh, God. Don't mind me, Mr. Berkrees. Feel free to go sit by the heater if you're cold.
Oh my, but I thought we would
fuck
get close
off
to
to
each
these
other.
other people huddle in the corner.
Nope, I'm fine. My house doesn't have a heater at all.
My house, quote unquote.
My cave. Anyway, I have something to give you. It's legumentines, you know. Here, hey, that's not what I took.
Yeah, it's country millet.
Okay, well, maybe foxtails are from the country.
Yeah, you're not really gonna find fox hunting parties in the city.
Yeah.
For me?
Yep, you're supposed to give beans to the most important bird in your life today. Do you want them?
But I'm not alive.
Oh.
But yeah, thank you.
He looks happier than usual. Or is it my imagination?
Like, all of this is your imagination. I often ate these when I was younger, like last year. This brings back memories.
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the day before today. I said that out of order. It's supposed to be the other way around. That's a line from somewhere. It was the day before today. I remember it like it was yesterday. Yes.
Thank you, Miss Berkey.
Berkey?
Miss Berkvist.
Miss Berkey.
Miss Berkvist.
You're welcome, Nageki. Oh boy.
So far, this is rather dull.
I want to get into your pants. Lots of requested. Well, you know what? It's a bit dull, but we're going to kick it up a notch from here because the only thing we have left is the weird thing with side chick Azami, whatever that fucking thing is about.
And then we
got the teachers. Fuck the teachers. Woo. Lots of requested books are going to come in today. I'll have to work through lunch. Sorting all of these takes forever. I think I'll just have the encyclopedias to do before I'm done. Who? There's a note on the help desk counter. Miss Berkvist. Mr. Berkvist. Be here after the other students have all left. Fujishiro Nageki. It reads like a challenge to a samurai duel. How fitting.
I'll meet you at dawn. Over at the sports field. Because that's when you have duels, you see, at dawn.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Oh. Maybe.
At least in the books.
The young adult novels?
No, those are adult novels.
I think this is the first time he approached me.
Like, you need to sort out your tropes for what's young adult and what's adult.
Is it just like it has a werewolf in it, then it's young adult?
No, I don't read werewolf books. And there are actually plenty of adult books that have werewolves in them. I think, and that's one of the reasons why I skip them, but also for the young adult, because these werewolf books and vampire books, I also skip them for the same reason. They're all about submitting to the will of an alpha male, and like they're actually using that word unironically.
Wow. So do the young adult novels always have like a female protagonist, or just most of the time?
The werewolf books? I have never seen a werewolf book of the young adult or adult nature that had a male protagonist. That exists in like TV with like the Teen Wolf thing. But
then it's the Teen Wolf who is the werewolf, right? Yeah.
I guess the werewolf is always the man, is the point.
Yeah, because wouldn't it be cool to have like just the sort of male young adult protagonist just getting sort of fucked by a female dog? Or is that weird?
Well, it's just male young adult protagonists are rare as it is. And And if they are, they're always the cool guys. So, and like the whole werewolf thing, that's why I detest it. It's all about these antiquated and I think really unhealthy power dynamics. And it's all about alpha males. And like, it's always got like this female protagonist, like whether it is young adult or adult, where it's like, you know, like a female protagonist that talks the talk of being like big, strong, don't need none of this shit, and I can do all of it on my own.
But then she's actually sort of awkward and vulnerable, or what?
No, but like then all of their actions, like what actually happens and what they do.
Right, they have to get saved.
They have to get saved, and none of this is like actually the thing. And I'm like, what are you trying to say here, Mr. Author or Miss Author? It's like, they just talk about being this big, independent, strong person, and being a strong person isn't at all about physical strength, but then everything that happens in your book just kind of like points to the opposite. But I'm supposed to believe that this person is like a strong, independent person because they say they are, even though none of their actions like
it's the dichotomy.
show any of this.
It's the dichotomy between like show versus tell, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of the hallmark of a bad writer versus a good writer, honestly, because this comes down to David Cage. Okay.
Let's
bring up that.
In the end, something always comes down to David Cage.
Let's bring up that hack, okay? Because you have the same disconnect there. You have characters whose spoken motivations and how people refer to them and describe them and stuff are one thing, but then their actual sort of actions are something else. And it's not necessarily a question of sloppy writing. It's more a question of not understanding how you actually deliver a coherent narrative. It's the idea that it's the idea of what's important.
And it's also not understanding what the concept you're trying to sell actually is.
But for some people or for some writers, the idea is that what's important is not what the characters do. That's just sort of like a framing device. That's just sort of the action sequences and just keeping it exciting. But actually delivering characterization and whatnot is delivered through what you just outright tell the reader. You say that this person is this, and other people describe this person as this, and that means that that's what they are, because that's just a message being delivered. And then we also have to throw in some action sequences to keep things interesting, keep them going and whatnot. And it is the hallmark of an amateur writer. And like I said, David Cage falls into this trope super hard because his characters' actual actions do not line up with their professed motivations and professed characters at all.
Absolutely.
For someone who's sort of like just knows a bit more about what they're doing, right? You understand that it's all about the actions. That's the only thing that speaks to the actual character of the person. Anyone can say that they are whatever, but it's not until you see what they actually are like in the heat of the moment. When the chips are on the table and you gotta make them big decisions and you gotta do them big actions. That's when you see what someone's really like. And if you're smart, you can even use this to your advantage. You can have it as like an actual vessel for the narrative. That disconnect, that a person might not actually be what they think they are. They can say that there's something, but then it turns out that you're just lying to themselves and stuff. And if that's intentional, that's fine. You can deliver a story that way. The problem is when that's not intentional. The problem is when the writer writes these characterizations as if it's the actual truth and just sells that, it's supposed to be taken at face value. And you're supposed to accept it. But then they have actions that go against that. That's when you have like just the thing you've described, where it's just, I don't know, if you're killing your own character.
Yeah, and it's like like sometimes it's perfectly okay for your character to say a thing but then act differently from it.
Sure.
But it's like that's what you get when you have like an unreliable narrator. But
yeah, or just a
that
person can just be a hypocrite. That's fine.
Those two things are fine, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it a good, like, everything has to fit in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm talking about, no. So I think werewolves and vampires bring out the worst in authors.
Because then they, because they're so into it. Because werewolves and vampires are so cool, and you can have like all your fantasies come to life and shit. And then you sort of forget that the woman is supposed to be like the heroine and the powerful character and stuff. Because, get to be saved by this ancient being. It's hot. It's hot and shit.
I also think that this inherent power imbalance, if like a human that you get when you have like a human person and a vampire, makes them overdo and oversell the whole "I'm an independent woman who don't need nobody," like even more so. Like it's worse on both ends, right?
Yeah, I see it.
You kind of have to deal with that, and you kind of have to. You don't want to have this imbalance in the relationship, thereby making your character say all of these things, thereby making it even worse.
It's like the one night stands. You just gotta. You just gotta put up with the werewolf claws in your back.
No, and I think this is actually why I'm very happy with the existence of websites like Goodreads that have like a tag system where people can review books, and you can read those if you want to spoiler yourself. But they can also just tag them. Like you have bookshelves, right? And you can be like, this is on my bookshelf. And then you will see 500 people have shelved this book as such and such. You can have more than shelf than one.
Hashtag hypocritical protagonist.
Well, no, but like one thing that really helps is it avoids me to avoid surprise vampires, surprise werewolf.
Surprise vampires.
No, but it happens sometimes.
Is that a tag?
No, it says vampires.
Oh, okay,
but for me, it's like sometimes you read the backside of a book and it sounds interesting, and then halfway through it's vampires.
The From Dusk Till Dawn phenomenon.
That's the good kind. But yeah, I actually didn't know about that one either. I thought, like...
it upsets me that people, basically, From Dusk Till Dawn is kind of considered a bad movie.
It's not.
But it's got like kind of shit reviews. And at the time when it came out, people didn't like it at all.
Like, I first saw that movie on TV, and the TV, how do you call this? These magazines, they don't really exist anymore. The TV guide that said what's going to be on TV, right?
No, I was taken by complete fucking surprise.
And it said it was like a gangster movie.
By the way, yeah, I know. Are we fine with spoiling this, by the way? It's a very old movie at this point.
Yeah, okay. It's a very old movie.
Are we fine with spoiling this? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because there might be people out there who haven't seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, if...
They might have been living under a rock and...
But then we just made it better for them by going in with the right expectations.
No! I don't know. The shock factor is part of it, because I knew nothing going in, and I liked it.
Same.
I liked it, but I know a lot of people didn't. They were just like, this is bullshit, and just stopped watching, because they thought, like, the movie just fell off a cliff when that happened. Okay, fine. You know what? The expiration date for spoilers has passed for From Dusk Till Dawn. It's old enough, okay? It starts out as this psychological thriller, and it seems like it's gonna be like this sort of like, oh shit,
gangster road movie.
Yeah, and there's like shit, this family that's being kidnapped by these two brothers who are psycho killers, and it's creepy, and it's like, oh fuck, it's gonna be.
Like,
and it
halfway through, it turns into vampire pulp.
It's tense, and you get to know the characters, and like the father who's sort of like this sympathetic guy who's trying to hold everything together, and the son who's sort of like starting to come into his own and starts wanting to challenging these two sort of creepy killers, and one of the brothers is the sane one, and one of the brothers is the insane one who has to be held back and stuff, and it's super tense, and you don't know where it's gonna go, and it's super exciting, and you just want to see, what's gonna be the conclusion, and then they go to this sort of bar and just decide to chill for a couple of seconds, and then all of a sudden everyone in the bar, snap, just fucking turns into a vampire. And holy shit,
I know,
holy shit, now they're locked into a bar full of like hundreds of vampires, and now all of them have to just fight together to survive against a horde of vampires. And suddenly halfway through, it is a completely different movie. It is now a splatter movie of these people trying to survive against vampires.
Yes, and that is the first and last time I had a positive impression of Surprise Vampire.
Yeah, they do Surprise Vampire good. Then they did sequels to that movie and like...
They did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, there's like a From Dawn Till Dusk and shit.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
It's no, they're garbage, and especially like it doesn't work in later movies because now the surprise has been spoiled.
And I guess they didn't get like the cast again.
I don't think so.
It's like the original movie had Quentin Tarantino. It had Harvey Keitel. It had who was the main character? It was like
Wait, the dad?
That was Harvey Keitel.
Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah.
It's
but,
funny.
like,
In my mental image is the guy who played like the old guy in Jurassic Park, but that's not him.
No, I think it was Harvey Keitel. And the other brother was that
I'm not
George
sure
Clooney
about this.
or something?
No, I don't. It could have been. It could have been George Clooney.
It was someone like a George Clooney-like type.
Anywho.
Let's say it was George Clooners.
Anywho, I agree with you. It is the first and last instance of a good surprise vampire.
But do you know what's worse than surprise vampires or surprise werewolves?
Surprise goblins.
No. I would actually like that. Surprise angels.
Ooh.
I detest. Like, I will actually soldier through to the end of a surprise werewolf.
Taste that one.
I will soldier through to the end of a surprise vampire or a surprise werewolf book because I hate not finishing books. But surprise angels, as soon as that happens, I will put that book aside. Fuck that shit.
Wow. Get some god dick in your life.
God, how I hate the concept. Anyway, we got really far off topic.
I think this is the first time he's approached me. I wonder what it's all about.
Surprise ghosts. I guess ghosts are also kind of bad as far as...
Surprise ghosts has been done.
Yeah, but it's weird.
Folks, why don't you write surprise goblins?
Yeah.
Right? It's a slam dunk. It's open and shut. It's a license to print money.
And
we're giving this to the world. Young adult novel, strong female protagonist, surprise goblins.
They can pay a lot of close attention to your knees. This is good for when you have sensitive knees.
Oh my. Nageki, are you here? Nageki!
Or, hear me out. A fantasy romance novel between like a person with like dwarfism.
Like a dwarf?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But like not a fantasy dwarf.
But in a fantasy world.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking
you said
about
like a fantasy novel.
No. Like,
it's a person with dwarfism, but he's not of the dwarf race.
You know what?
He's just
you
a human. No, shut up. Shut up. This is gold.
But I'm gonna say
I don't even have a premise yet. We're writing this book.
I was going for a similar thing. I was going for urban fantasy, a person with dwarfism and just a goblin. But yours is better.
This is better.
This is a high fantasy world with actual dwarves and like...
He's not a member of the dwarf race. He's just a human with dwarfism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you need. I don't even care about the story. This isn't compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw him in there.
Peter Dinklage.
Well, no.
I saw an image recently comparing the sizes of like Hollywood actors with dwarfism, and Peter Dinklage is actually very tall. He's almost as tall as Danny DeVito. I
don't know who that says more about.
I don't know either. The point is...
What is the point?
I want to see Peter Dinklage and people with his condition cast as normal people. We need to cast like... but on the other hand, like representation for that kind of role... Whatever, but a good idea.
Good idea. We're gonna work on it. It's the shell of an idea. We just threw out the concept here. Don't worry, folks. We're gonna come back to this one, and it's gonna be more fleshed out. Mm-hmm. Oh man! If anything else, if nothing else comes out of it, that's like just a D&D character waiting to happen.
It kind of is.
It has to be. Anyway, this is you. I asked where you were.
Very
over here, I think, probably. Nageki!
Hello, Miss Berkvist. Mr. Berkviz.
I'm tired of you misgendering me.
But you do it yourself.
You startled me. How long have you been standing there?
From the very beginning
of time.
I was here when God was like, the platypus was a mistake, but I don't have time to fix this.
So, what did you need?
I want to talk with you, Miss Berkviz. Mr. Berkviz. Mr. Berkviz.
Mr. Berkviz. Talk to me. With me.
Like, as in continue or conversation. You know what talk means? It's like one person and another person open their mouth. Like,
we were talking about bullying, I think. Okay, I'm all ears, Nageki.
I'm not sure where to start. I've noticed a lot since we last spoke together, like how I never need to shit, and that's very unusual for pigeon.
And how I can breathe underwater.
Mr. Berkviz. Let's go outside.
Oh my. What? But he hates going outside.
Come on.
He stands up and walks over to the door. I follow, agitated. You fucker, you've been leading me on with your whole not going outside thing. You could go outside all along. Asshole.
You first.
Okay. Why does he want to go out all of a sudden? I should be happy,
well,
but...
you didn't get very far.
What's wrong? You said you wanted to come out here. He stands in the doorway, pushing against open air. What are you doing? Mime?
What?
He walks back a little into the library, and then runs forward, crashing into the air.
Okay, I've always had a bit of an issue with that kind of ghost trope, because it's like...
He's locked in.
I mean, I can see, like, a radius around where you died or so, but, like, the exact dimension of the room? Like, why would the ephemeral world of
maybe it's a curse.
Ghosts inhabit? Yeah, but, like, the door specifically?
But what if it's a witch's curse? So he's locked into the room because of a witch's curse. Could be it. Nageki. What? Thud.
What?
I got hit in the back of the head, I think. I don't know. No. He bounces off the invisible wall and falls back into the library. That's too good to be a mime act.
I mean, look, we've all seen birds flying into glass doors before.
Yes. But there was no glass there. I don't think so.
Are you sure? All right. As I thought, I can't leave.
What?
I can't leave this room. I wake up in this library. After a while, I lose consciousness, and I wake up here again. And so it repeats.
It's like Groundhog Day.
I said I've come to understand the truth by talking to you, Mr. Berkviz. You've probably noticed, too, why no one else talks to me.
That's because...
they
can't see you. I'm the only one who can see you.
Probably. I forgot why I was here. How I came to be stuck in this place. I've been alone here for years with no one to talk to.
For years?
My sense of time is broken. It's probably actually only been 2 weeks, but
see,
whatever.
He's kind of see-through right now.
I cannot feel or remember its passage. I've seen at least 5 school festivals go by. But then you came and talked to me. I had no partner but myself for so long, and suddenly you wouldn't leave me alone.
Aww.
As I talked to you, I finally remembered why I can't leave.
'Cause I'm dead. Oof.
Ooh. I killed myself in this room. And so here I stay. My clock broke here. its hands turning meaninglessly, each day the same as the last. Alone forever.
Jesus.
No one is bullying me or ignoring me. I'm not here to begin with. I have no regrets. That's a weird thing to say.
And he's getting more and more see-through as he's talking.
Yeah, but saying I have no regrets after saying I killed myself isn't maybe a great thing to put in a piece of media.
I guess.
I'm not super into that. It was my choice to end my life here after all. But I think I will miss you, Mr. Berkrees. If I wasn't like this, I would have liked to talk to you more for longer.
Nageki, silly goof. I wrap my arms around him. Swoosh, they go right through him. I can feel him softly, but he's cold.
At first, sitting here alone was painful, but I grew numb over time. I ceased to feel pain. That feeling that I thought I had lost came back because of you.
I'll talk to you enough to make up for everyone else, Nageki. Maybe one day you'll be able to leave.
No.
Why not?
As I talked to you, I changed. I didn't notice until recently. When you told me about the school, I was probably trying to take back the time I was never able to spend here. I never asked you to, but you relentlessly told me everything that was going on here. I already feel like I've spent a full year at the school, and now it's over. I think the clock's hands are going to stop soon.
Nageki! His head is right next to mine, but his voice sounds muffled and distant. When I look down, his feet are already disappearing. Nageki, wait! We've never talked like this before. I don't want this to be the last time.
Don't cry, Mr. Berkrees. I'm already long gone. There's no one here to mourn.
But...
there's just one thing I need to tell you before I go.
The secret recipe for my aunt's apple pie is in the...
Lucky for you, I don't need no secret apple pie recipes. I know how to make it myself. The thing that I noticed, the secret that stopped my clock.
No, don't say it! Nageki,
As I filled up, I grew closer to disappearing. You're the one who made me disappear, Mr. Berkrees. I can't stop it now.
But I still have so many things to tell you!
You've already given me more than enough. Like, trust me, I don't want to hear any more of your shit. I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
the secret.
Genuinely don't.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Perfect. Oh, so and that's it?
Yeah, I actually am underwhelmed by this. Like...
yeah.
Like, just throwing the suicide thing there and just being like, yeah, but I'm satisfied. I got no regrets. Like that.
Yeah. That's rough. That's rough. And, like, I know that there is a sequel to Hatoful Boyfriend. I'm not sure if we're going to play that or not, but there's a sequel to Hatoful Boyfriend called Holiday Star, which is actually a prequel. It actually just shows, like, here's what happened the previous year at school before Mr. Kjell Bergqvist arrived there. So you just get to know the characters sort of what, like, their first year and whatnot.
Okay.
So I guess maybe... well, Nageki shouldn't be in it.
No,
he's been dead for a long time. So I guess he's not in it.
I don't know, but that was weird.
Dreams End.
Yeah, so I was correct in thinking this is supposed to be a bummer episode, but I don't, like, for me it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was just...
But now we're gonna dive into the good stuff, because now the only thing we have left is the really, really weird shit with both of the teachers and Azami. And Azami's is like a short side thing, I think. I even think that was added at a later point. I don't think Azami was even in the base game. They just threw her in a later sort of content update patch.
I don't know. I have no idea what she's about, but it seems like she has a kid who died in a traffic accident.
So I'm gonna say that next time it's gonna be Mr. Kazuaki, and then we're gonna close it off. We're gonna close it off with good old Shu.
Well, no, because we still need to do the lady.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll squeeze her in too.
Okay.
And
we're gonna close it off with Shu, the Dr. Mangala of Japanese pigeon school doctoring.
And we both know that, like, we don't know anything about it. We don't know what it's gonna be like, but we do know that when we have gotten every other ending, we unlock
the real story.
The real story, the true ending of the game.
Yes.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. And we're heading there very slowly, we're grinding our way through this game.
Damn.
But we'll get there, people. Thank you for sticking with us on this excruciatingly long path.
How many episodes of this recording session did not contain any gameplay?
Half.
Damn it.
Probably more, like 70%.
Look, we don't go in planning this, it just kind of happens.
Yeah. We're working on a podcast. It's basically what we're doing at this point.
Yeah, but not really.
But kinda.
I guess.